guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashena and this is Ashena's Nail Artistry, and for today's video we are going to talk all about nail brushes. So we're going to discuss how do you choose what is the perfect brush size, the differences in the sizes, and how to know if you have a very good brush, because as you know, your nail brush is one of the most important tools that you can have as a nail technician, and it is a very important investment. I'm going to zoom in and we're going to take a look at what I have. Okay, so here we have, well, I have 4 nail brushes. These are all Kolinsky sable brushes. Now I remember in the last video we talked about how to identify if your brush is real Kolinsky or not. So I'm not too sure if you can actually see the differences, how your brush bristles start off light and gets darker on the edge of each, except this one you cannot really see it as much, but this is a Kolinsky sable. So talking about brushes, when you start as a nail technician, you would want to start with a good brush. I know for sure it have some very terrible brushes on the market, but they are very good brushes as well. So to be able to get a good brush, you would have to do a lot of research. For everyone, they don't look for the same thing in a brush, so everybody's preference is different. For me, I like that my brushes can crimp. Now what I mean by crimp is this. So you see all the brushes here have an indentation in the aluminum of the brush. Now that is there so I can spread out my bristles, because I like to spread out my bristles of my brushes. If you want me to talk about the benefits of crimping your brush, we can do that in another video. But for today, we were talking about how to be able to select your perfect brush size and knowing which brush to work with. So acrylic brushes start from, I think, size 8 and can go up until size 24 at every 2 points. So we have size 8, size 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. I think 24 is the biggest size. Right now I have the upper sizes kind of in between, in the middle. This is size 12, this is size 14, this is size 16, and I'm going to lay it down so you can see 14, and then this is size 18. So this is the biggest brush that I own, and then this one. The brush that I use the most is this one, which is a size 16, and it's perfect for me because I have moved on from size 12 and size 10 a very long time ago, but depending on the client, I will use a smaller size brush because not everybody's nail bed is the same size, and sometimes when you use a smaller brush, it helps with the person's nail bed type, nail bed length, so it varies, right? When you are selecting a brush, I normally recommend people to start with size 10. A lot of people say size 8, but I find size 8 is really a waste of time, in my opinion. If you want to challenge yourself, you'll start with a size 10. Now, how can you get a very good Kolinsky brush? Now these are Kolinsky brushes, so they are on the higher end spectrum of brushes. To get a good Kolinsky brush, you will spend anything minimum of 18 US and can reach up to 50 US. Okay, now this brush is the most expensive brush that I own, and this was 42 US. And this is a Panna Brush. It no longer has its trademark on there, because obviously with wear and tear and cleaning it ever so often, over time the encryption come out because it was only printed on there. But this is a Panna Brush. Panna brushes are very good to have. They are very costly, but they last a long time. I've had this brush since 2019 and I've been using it ever since, and I've had no problems. So this is a very good brush you can buy. You can invest in that if you want. You can have a smaller size. You do not have to start on a size 16 like me. You can start on a size 8 if you want. If you're very new to acrylic, you can start on a size 8, but I would recommend you start on a size 10. This brush now is from Kolinsky, Germany, and this is a size 18 brush. I bought this brush not realizing actually how big it was, and to be honest, depending on the distributor or the company, some of the brushes, they vary in size. So for example, I could probably have this size 18 brush from this company, and I can go ahead and get another size 18, and I might see that this might be bigger or smaller than another company's brush. So it varies on the manufacturer. Now these are the very first, this brand is the very first brand of professional brush that I use in my career, and that stems back right to 2009, 2010. This was the very first brush that I bought. I haven't seen it for many years, and I only recently saw it back on the market, so of course I got for myself and I got for my assistant. She is currently using the size 12 brush. I am using the size 14. Okay, now like I said, you do not have to get this size that I have if you don't feel comfortable, but I will advise you to at least challenge yourself, because you might be surprised. The pros of having a bigger brush is that you can complete your sets with less beads. When you have less beads, your work is less lumpy and bumpy, and obviously it takes a lot less time when you have to put less beads than if you were to work with a lot of small beads and have to do numerous beads to build a nail. Okay, now these brushes, you have to be able to take very good care of them. If you do not take good care of your brushes and you do not clean them regularly, as you can see, all of them are flattened out, and I like to clean my brushes after every application, because that way you save your brush and you can literally be ready for anything that comes, instead of having to then, when a customer is at your face, then you have to go ahead and now think of cleaning your brush. If you clean your brush after every client, then you save yourself that stress. If you are storing your brush, you never store your brush that way. You always store your brush so that it stands up, right? A way to clean your brush is, I normally clean my brush in monomer, meaning acrylic liquid. I just leave it soak in acrylic liquid, and then I take a paper towel like how I have here, and I simply just wipe it like this, and see how it gets back its natural spread out shape. Bear in mind that is not a preferred pattern for a lot of people. Some people rather they brush round like this. Let me see if I can get it back to its natural state. It would not get completely round because I crimped it, so obviously that caused it to fan out. But some people like to use their brushes round like that, and that's not a problem. At the end of the day, it's your preference, like I said, but I like mine spread out, because that way I can really be able to control what bead I pick up and where exactly my acrylic gets to sit on my brush, because acrylic is not supposed to pass the halfway point of your brush. If you have acrylic all up here, then you're not dipping properly. And demonstrate that in a separate video on how to pick up a proper bead, different bead size. And speaking about bead size, every brush size gives you a different bead pickup. So a smaller brush will give you a smaller bead, a larger brush will give you a larger bead, although you can manipulate the brush to pick up small beads depending on the depth that you dip or the duration that you leave your brush in the acrylic. For that, I can show you guys separately if you want to see, but I just wanted to come on to show you that if you have a very good brush, if you are looking to be a nail tech, or you are aspiring nail tech, or you are practicing nail tech, invest in a good nail brush and you will not regret it. These two can be found on eBay. If you just look for the name and you just look for Osaka brushes, you can find them on eBay. These two, you can find them on Amazon. This one is Panna, P-A-N-A, Panna brushes. You can just type it into your search bar on Amazon and you will be able to get a whole variety of different brush styles, different brush sizes, and you make your choice. This one as well, this Petal Kolinsky, you can also get it on Amazon. Another good brush that I do not have one of right now is called the 6 Angles brush, and it's a very nice brush. The bristles, I don't know if you can tell, if you can probably see how smooth and soft those bristles are, and they don't clump, they don't gather acrylic. Once you put on the bead and you lay it on the nail, the brush comes clean. Okay, so if you want, you can go ahead and look for these. Like I said, it's better to invest and buy a good quality brush and have it for a while than to buy many brushes and you have to end up replacing them over time or replacing them often or get frustrated. Because I, for sure, when I started, I didn't know a lot about Kolinsky, the differences between the Kolinsky sable and normal, like any other type of nail brush, quote unquote. So I was buying a lot of brushes that I ended up having to throw away because obviously they were not doing what I wanted it to do. But once I got into Kolinsky brushes and I learned the differences and the benefits, I definitely invested in my brushes, and I always try to have a backup brush. It's always good to have backup products because you just never know. Sometimes you might end up breaking a brush by mistake, it might fall, it might bend, sometimes you might ruin it, you just never know. So it's good to always have backup. I always have backup brushes. These 3 stay on my desk. This is my assistant's brush, and these 3 stay on my desk. So when I want, I can basically just fluctuate between size to size. So that's it really for today's video. If you want me to talk anything more about brushes, or if you want me to probably discuss the benefits or how to go ahead and crimp your brush and how to clean your brush and how to pick up a proper bead, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what type of brush you're using, what size brush you're using, and how you find it's working for you. If you'll be willing to try out these brushes, and if you do have these brushes, also let me know how you find they work, or if you plan on getting them in the future, let me know when you get it and tell me how you like it. Okay, so that's it guys for this video. Thank you very much for staying with me for the video. Remember to subscribe. I am Ashena, and this is Ashena's Nail Artistry. You can follow me on Facebook at Ashena's Nail Artistry and also on Instagram. So if you want to follow my page or to follow me on Instagram, check the details in the description box, and I will see you next time. Bye.